This video is brought to you by Alienware, featuring Intel Core i7 processors. Start gaming.
Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, and welcome back to another video for the Alienware 15 gaming laptop. A couple of weeks back, I unboxed this for you guys and said that I would be following up with an in-depth review once I'd had a chance to test it, and that is exactly what I'm doing. Also, a quick reminder that this is a sponsored video, and I do want to give a massive shout out to Alienware for very kindly sending this laptop my way. But despite the sponsored nature, I am still going to be giving you guys my honest opinion. So if you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated, and comment down below and let me know what you think. Now before we dive into the review itself, let me quickly recap the model that I'm working with. This is the Alienware 15, and as the name suggests, that is the 15-inch model. You can also get 13 and 17-inch models depending on whether you're after extreme portability or much greater screen real estate. But to be completely honest, if you're looking at getting one of these yourself, the 15-inch model is where it's at. It sits perfectly in the middle to provide both a portable and powerful experience. Under the hood, this model has an Intel Core i7 6700HQ processor clocked at 3.5 GHz. It's got 8GB of DDR4 memory, a 256GB SSD paired with a 1TB hard drive to give you somewhere to dump all your files, an Nvidia GTX 970M graphics card, and it's running Windows 10. On the outside, you have a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS anti-glare display, and a fully backlit keyboard and trackpad. On the left-hand side, you have a power port, a Kensington security lock, two USB 3.0 ports, the first of which has power share, and your headphone and mic jacks. Then on the right-hand side, you have your network port, another USB 3.0 port, a USB-C port, and a media card reader. And then finally, on the back, you have an HDMI port and an external graphics port, which is used to plug the laptop into an external unit sold separately that houses a desktop-grade graphics card. So were you to use this as your main system, paired with the external unit, it could provide you with pretty much all the power you'd need. But that is a completely separate unit, not something I've used personally, so for the time being, let's gloss over that. So, those are the specs, and now you know what I'm working with. Let's actually talk about the laptop itself. Something I also want to convey before I move forward is that I'm reviewing this laptop as exactly that, a laptop. In my unboxing video, there were people in the comments that stated that for the same price you could easily build a more powerful desktop. And while that may be the case, I have a desktop. What I needed was a laptop. See, while doing YouTube, I travel a lot. I'm often in London or overseas at various gaming and capture events, and when I'm on the go, I need something powerful that allows me to record, edit, and upload videos at ease. Prior to using this laptop, I actually had an Ultrabook for portability reasons, but without a dedicated graphics card, my render times were in the hours and not the minutes. And if you're working against the clock or you're working late at night after an event, the last thing you want is for your video to take over an hour to render. So therein lies my need for a powerful laptop, and the Alienware 15 has been doing an outstanding job. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been to a number of different events. I've used it to record high quality gameplay, edit and render videos, and more recently, I've also been playing The Division on it. In fact, during The Division's launch week, this laptop was a great help. It allowed me to render videos while my main system was busy, and thanks to the fact that it has an Nvidia graphics card that is CUDA enabled, it also allows me to offload some of the processing power onto the GPU for faster render times. So all in all, for my day-to-day usage, it's been amazing. I will say that it's a little bit on the heavy side, coming in at just over 3 kilograms, but then again, anything compared to the Ultrabook that I was previously using is always going to be heavy. And for all the power that you're getting, it's a price I'm willing to pay. And as mentioned, if portability was your main factor, there is always the Alienware 13, but do bear in mind that with the more compact size comes its own sacrifices. So I still stand by what I said at the beginning, in that the 15 is still the best place to go, for a good blend of portable and power. Now if we switch over for a moment and take a look at some benchmarks, right now The Division is my main game. And it's also both a visually impressive and intensive game on PC, so I figured it would be a great way to give this laptop a workout. It's also worth noting that the recommended specs for running The Division on PC is an i7 3770, 8GB of RAM, and an Nvidia GTX 970, so the Alienware 15 meets that no problem. That being said, it is also worth noting that if you truly want to run this game on Ultra with everything cranked up, then you're really going to want to be leaning more towards that GTX 980 Ti, 16GB of RAM, and again an i7. So while testing this, I wasn't expecting to be able to hit the absolute max, but I was still pleasantly surprised with what it was able to handle. If you run the game using the Ultra settings in the menu, and by that I'm referring to simply selecting the Ultra profile and all the associated presets that come with that, then the game still runs smoothly. However, despite the uncapped frame rate, it was still only really getting 30 FPS. Although I say only, but that's still really impressive. I mean, it was a stable 30 FPS for pretty much all of my playtime, and being able to play the game using a lot of the ultra settings while still maintaining that constant frame rate was a great experience, especially considering I'm also used to playing on console like Xbox One, which is of course similarly a 30 FPS experience. However, if you want to be able to push those higher frame rates, then you could select the high graphics profile, which, let's be honest, still looks visually stunning, but with this I was able to get anywhere from about 45 FPS and up. In busy combat areas, 45 was the average that I was seeing, whereas simply roaming around the city and enjoying the scenery, I was able to hit around 55 to 60 FPS a lot of the time. And the main thing worth mentioning is that it was smooth at all times. I didn't really experience any nasty frame drops, any stuttering, or any issues that might come with trying to say run the game at higher than recommended settings, so all in all it was still a great experience. And as mentioned, having run this at its absolute best on my main rig, I know exactly what's required. So I can honestly say that I was genuinely impressed with how the Alienware 15 handled the game, and I'd have no problem playing on this for extended periods of time or even as my main machine. However, if we take a step away from gaming for a second and take a look at this laptop as a daily driver, then when I'm out and about, it doesn't really matter what I throw at this laptop, it manages all of my day-to-day tasks without any real issues. And one of the bonuses of having the 15 over say the 13 is that you also have a very nice sized keyboard. Now in terms of battery life, if you're going to use this for say day-to-day tasks like web browsing, writing scripts, watching videos, etc., then I've been able to get around 6 hours of general use before I actually needed to plug in and charge up. However, if you're gaming on battery, then typically it will last around 2 hours give or take, which isn't that bad all things considering. I mean, if you're realistically going to play games on a gaming laptop, then you're going to plug it in. Games are pretty intensive and will always be a drain on the battery, so being able to play for a couple of hours is still pretty great. I mean, that'd be ample time to, say, sit in an airport and pass a couple of hours before a flight, for example. But for extended periods of time, again, you would simply want to plug in. So with all of that said and done, the question remains, is it worth the money and do you need a gaming laptop? And in order to truly answer that question, it first depends on your situation. As mentioned, I travel a lot, so I need a powerful laptop that I can rely on. Something that I can use to continue working just as effectively on the go as I can at home. If, on the other hand, you plan to play games at home 100% of the time, then there's no denying that you'd probably be better off leaning more towards a desktop PC. It's also fair to say that these laptops aren't cheap, and a portion of that price tag will of course be down to the Alienware brand. But the Alienware 15 is a quality piece of kit. It's built well, it functions well, and one of the things I can say on top of that is that having owned 2 Alienware laptops prior to this one, Alienware's customer service is outstanding. So while yes, it is an expensive piece of kit, knowing that I have a laptop that sits in my bag ready to go at a moment's notice is exactly why I would recommend this product. And that, my friends, brings me to the end of this video. If you guys want to check out Alienware's range of laptops or their products, then you can find a link to their site in the description box down below. I also want to give another big shout out to the guys over at Alienware for sending me this laptop. It has helped me out massively, and it's thanks to this that I've been able to record a lot of those early gameplay videos that have been going on the channel lately. Things like Quantum Break and some of the other stuff I've got coming up soon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and the review, and as always, let me know what you think down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.